Hello, Freda.
Darren, great to meet you.
Nice to meet
Really
you.
enjoyed the film. And of course,
Thank
it
you.
sees you kind of back on familiar territory, really, doesn't it? I wondered what tempted you back to the franchise after what, 12, 13 years?
Yeah, 14 years.
14.
Chris Rock is what brought me back. He was, the chance to work with someone like him with his pedigree, his, comedic background, and then hearing his take about how what he kind of saw the franchise going, it just excited me in the same way that I was excited when I got to go to Saw 2. And why I left Saw 4. When I left Saw 4, I felt like I'd done it, like I'd been there. There was nothing new that I could add to it. When I heard this idea from Chris, I was like, I can do that and I can do something different with it. So that was what it was.
So Chris was really the prime mover for the film then.
He was the vehicle, he was the engine. He was the reason of why we got Sam Jackson and how we were able to get Max Minghella. I think that he's such a beloved comedian and actor, that people listen when he talks. And when you hear kind of his point of view on why Saw needed humor and why these things needed to happen, all of us just signed on to that kind of immediately.
And he does bring some of his trademark humor to the film, most certainly. I wondered if
Yeah.
he got involved in writing any of it, because certainly that Forrest Gump sequence that he
Oh, that's
does.
100% Chris Rock written. Uh,
Yeah, that's,
yeah,
I thought as much. It sounded like him.
yeah. So
Totally.
Chris, what Chris was really great at is that he would write his own stuff where he wanted to make sure that he sounded right. But then he would look at other scenes and then be like, you know what, it might be better if we did this. So how it worked is Chris Rock, Josh Stolberg, Pete Goldfinger, the writers, we would all sit around a table and we'd read each scene out loud and we'd see how it sounded. If Chris would listen to it, he'd be like, doesn't sound right. And he'd come back the next day and Chris would hand us pages and say, what do you think of this? And that's how the Forrest Gump scene came to be. Originally, Chris was introduced in a different way. He said, I think we could do this cooler. The next day he came in and handed me the Forrest Gump pages. And I was like, yes, that's 100% cooler. We'll do that. So he did that a few times throughout the movie.
The film's actually being described as a suspense thriller rather than a horror. I wondered
Yeah.
how you think fans of the franchise are going to react to that, because it implies that they're not going to get quite what they would expect from something with the Saw name on it.
Yeah, it's an interesting debate of what this movie is, because it is horrific for sure. It's got blood, it's got guts, it's got violence, it's got killing. But I think that it leans much heavier into the crime procedural thing than it does horror. When I think horror, I think of jump scares. I think of people actually being fearful and scared. And I think this movie falls more into the intrigue, that you are on the edge of your seat to find out what happens next, not like I am terrified and I'm going to be scared. So I think that it is more of a thriller. I think when Chris and I first started talking, we kind of aimed for 48 hours meets 7. That was kind of the tone that we went out for. And I think that if you look at those two movies, I think we hit that tone, which is very 7-esque, but it also is comedic like 48 hours.
It certainly has feelings of 7 in there, most definitely. Darren, it's been great to talk to you. I'm sorry we haven't got longer, but thank you
Of
so
course. Well,
much for
thank
your
you so
time.
much. Nice meeting you.